Daily Broadside Day 902. You ever notice how dogs never step in dog crap? What is that all about? You know, stepping in dog crap, as I've mentioned before, is like one of the worst days of your life. You know, if you were to list all the days of the year and one of those days you step in dog crap, that's automatically the worst. You know, you could lose your dog and it wouldn't be as bad as the day you stepped in dog crap. It just ruins everything, especially if you've got some really like fancy tennis shoes on that got all kinds of waffle patterns and all, and you can't just, you know, pick that stuff out with a stick or a hose. And just, never mind. But the point is, like, a dog can just go running through a yard. Never happens. You never have to go up to your dog and be like, oh, Sandy, you stepped into your own crap or someone else's, whatever. I don't know how they have that sense about them that, you know, it's kind of like why snakes are never dirty. I don't know why are snakes not dirty. They're rolling around the ground all day long, you know. But anyway, I'd like to shout out the fact that I saw a Prius today on the highway, and although I will never encourage anyone to buy one of these silly vehicles, it's about time. They look like a halfway decent car. You know, they don't look like so corny. They've like molded. I saw one today. I was like, what is that coming up behind me? I'm like, oh, it's a Prius, you know. I'm not saying I would drive one because I can't figure out how they're going to figure out how to make a manual transmission behind an electric motor. And I don't think that's possible, but I don't think anybody could shift that fast, but I have no interest in ever owning anything like that. But it does at least not look so corny as it has for the last 20 or so years, whenever those things came out. And I got two of the guys that work for me, Humpy and Gary. They're both mountain men from West Virginia, and they're hilarious together because they one of them rides the other all the time, and you know, all this stuff and whatnot. And I pride myself on like just gauging people's confidence in themselves and other things and whatnot. And I asked Humpy the other day, and we're just riding along, you know, and just out of the blue, I was like, so Humpy, you think you could take Gary in a fight? And before I could finish the word fight, he was like, he looked at me just as serious as a man has ever looked at me about anything in his life. And he's like, I will beat him within an inch of his life. He won't even know what hit him. I'll break him so hard. And I was like, all right. I like the cut of your jib. I like that confianza. I like that confidence. That's good stuff, you know. Now, he's made some mistakes in his life and done some time. You know, he's got some things in his past, but he's turned it around. And quite frankly, he's a salt of the earth kind of guy. And I'm going to tell you right now, the hardest worker I have ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen anybody that works as hard as this man in his late 50s. It's crazy. I mean, it's just, if I said, go disassemble that brick wall and I want it done with your fingernails, brick by brick, he'd come back with nubs on it. I mean, just bleeding, you know. He doesn't take breaks. As long as he's got a pack of cigarettes and a Coca-Cola, he can just work seemingly forever. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's funny the way those two interact. People from West Virginia, they're a different kind of breed, you know. But yeah. So they stay on each other, mostly him on the other guy. He's a little more, you know, he's not as demonstrative, I should say, but you know, you got that going for you and all. So yeah, I just found it kind of funny. I asked him one time, we got out somewhere and I was in one of my trucks and I had something expensive in the bed. I don't remember what it was, but I didn't want it stolen. And I said, hey, I'm gonna run in this store. I said, just keep an eye on the truck and make sure nobody takes that out of the bed. And he looked at me again just as seriously. He's like, somebody tries to take it, I'll go get a stick out of them woods and I will beat them. I said, it's okay. It's okay. I enjoy your vigor. I said, we don't need to beat anybody unless we have to beat somebody. If you have to beat somebody, it's just what happens, you know, in life. But anyway, it's nice having people that not only work hard for you, but are enjoyable to work with, because the opposite of those two things, one or both, are really, really crappy. Anyway, y'all have a good day. You get it.